25 years ago, a visit from Their Majesties King Carl Gustaf and Queen Sylvia of Sweden filled the streets of Wilmington.
The monument serves as a symbol for us.
A place so near and dear to Sweden. Royalty came in 1938, 1963, 1988, and now 2013. This time, the monarchs are coming to commemorate the establishment of New Sweden 375 years ago.
The colony that was started here weren't people who were running away. It was a sanctioned settlement. It was through the offices of the Queen that this took place.
It was March 1638 when the Kalmar Nickel dropped anchor at the rocks in what is now the city's Fort Christina Park, named after Sweden's queen at the time.
They didn't leave and go home. They stayed here. They owned large chunks of lands, and they weren't going to give up 400, 500, 600 acres worth of land and go back to Sweden. The families were on second and third generations at that point.
All of those, of course, are Swedish ancestors. And it's
Frances Almond brings a new meaning to Delaware native. Not only did her ancestors help build and provide materials for Old Swedes Church, built in the late 17th century, she's also a direct descendant of the original Swedish settlers.
I go back to the Stedhams, the Springers, the Hendricksons, the Stillies. And the Stillies, of course, came from Stockholm, Sweden, also in the early 1600s. But the Kalmar Nickel is particularly of interest simply because my earliest and oldest ancestor came over on that ship.
This is a replica of the original.
It's pretty awesome to think that, yes, I did have a relative who really did come over on that ship, and that the heritage is there.
The tall ship's crew is hard at work, readying it for the royals.
This is going to be our opportunity for the first time ever to bring the recreation of the Kalmar Nickel to the rocks at Fort Christina Park and tie her up to the rocks just as the original ship was in 1638.
This is a great opportunity for us to honor 375 years of history, this being the 375th anniversary of the landing. We've been really, truly honored that the King and Queen have visited so many times. And of course today they're also joined by the Speaker of the House of Finland as well, and his wife. So I think it says a lot about these strong historical ties, but these ties are something that continue with this strong relationship today as well.
My grandmother came over in 1912 on the Lusitania with her 5 other siblings and her parents, and landed in New York and then ended up in California.
Where did they come from?
Just above Stockholm. I have family there that I have not met, and at some point I'd love to get over there and meet them.
Today we're here to commemorate the 374th anniversary of the landing of the Swedes on March 29, 1638. They arrived at this spot on the ship's Kalmar Nickel and a smaller ship called the Fogel Grip. We're going to start out with the Swedish national anthem, and Eric Olsen is going to play that for us.
We are proud to celebrate
an important part of Wilmington's history by joining the Delaware Swedish Colonial Society in an annual observance of the 1638 landing of Swedish settlers at the rocks in Fort Christina Park.
Now therefore, I, Paul G. Clark, County Executive of Newcastle County, do hereby proclaim April 14th, 2012 as Colonist Day in recognition of the cultural heritage and impact on Delaware by the Swedish and Finnish communities. Thank you.
And I am Dennis Coker, Chief of the Lenape Indian Tribe of Delaware. We welcome you to our Lenape-Hoking, land of the Lenape. We are the Lenape people.
Our ancestors greeted the first Swedish settlers in 1638. We provided them with corn and beans, ensuring their survival during their first years in our land.
We are going to do a round dance, which is a dance of friendship, and we would like everyone to join us.
This is William Penn's manor house, which is a summer home, and he only lived in it for 2 years. Okay?
And he chose this spot on the Delaware because it's one area which does not flood.
I'm the president of the New Sweden Colonial Farmstead, and we're trying to revive it because we feel that it really is an educational arena where kids can come and learn, about crafts and so on.
Well, what I'm exhibiting here today are coins from my collection, and most of these are from the time period of New Sweden, and these circulated in the colonies all up and down the coast, and I'm sure in New Sweden also.
I'm the junior warden at St. George's Episcopal Church. Our church has been around, like I say, for just going on 300 years.
Like my brother.
And most of these replicas here is they used to travel from Penn's Neck all the way over here to go to church.
My name is Abdullah Muhammad. I'm the author of the new history book coming out, Africans in New Sweden, The Untold Story.
My father's mother, my grandmother, came over from Sweden in 1912. She was born in Sweden. She was one of 6 kids, and her parents decided they wanted to start a new life in America. From my perspective and my own heritage, the only one I'm absolutely sure of is the Swedish side, so I've always connected with it the most.
Born in Stockholm, her husband's job brought Jenny Powell to Delaware.
It's kind of exciting to hear all that, the old history, how our forefathers came here, and it's exciting.
She's lived in Delaware now for 14 years and owns Something's Unique, a furniture store in Greenville. For Jenny, it's very important her children learn Swedish and embrace their roots.
It's part of who I am, part of who they are. It's important, I think, so when we go back, they can understand the language and talk to everyone, and it's our heritage.
Powell's children keep up with Swedish traditions like St. Lucia Day, the Festival of Lights. And her kids will also be there when the King and Queen come.
The kids are going to welcome them as they disembark from the Kalmar Nyckel, the big ship. So I'm very excited to have them here, have a little part of Sweden come for a visit.
To be able to sit in a room with them and to know that they're eating dinner while I'm eating dinner is very special.
Swedish or not, the royal visit is a pretty big deal.